Nothing's more American than the chocolate chip cookie. Hi everyone, I'm Pat from Calm Sea Cruise. Today we're going to take a little break from our cruise videos and delve into one of America's favorites, the chocolate chip cookie. Now, I think every one of us has seen this bag and made the recipe that's on the back right here. I certainly have. In fact, I've probably done it 100 times. Well, I've done it so many times that I know a little bit about how to tweak that recipe to make it so it's one of my favorites. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to use for our ingredients today. So for our dry ingredients, we're going to do exactly what's on the recipe, except I always weigh my ingredients when I bake. So the recipe calls for 2 1/4 cups of plain flour or all-purpose flour. That weighs out to 330 grams in my kitchen. The weight of the flour does change depending on the day. If it's a humid day, it might be a little bit less flour. If it's a dry day, it might be a little bit more flour. That's why we weigh it out. It also calls for a teaspoon of baking powder and baking soda and a teaspoon of salt. So I sifted that all out and have it all ready to go, and I put it on a paper plate because paper plate just makes it easier to put in when we get ready to do that. I sifted it, the dry ingredients just because it makes it a little bit easier to incorporate into the wet ingredients when we get there. Sifting isn't really super important, but it does get clumps out if there's a clump in the flour, or if there's anything you don't want in the flour that got in there, anything that got in there, a piece of paper or a piece of rock or whatever got in there, it just keeps that all out of the way. The next set of ingredients is our wet ingredients. Now, wet ingredients aren't necessarily wet, they're just anything that isn't dry. We're going to have our 2 sticks of butter. That's 8 ounces of butter. We have the sugar. Now, the sugar is where I've really made the biggest change. The recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of white plain sugar, caster sugar. I've gone ahead and used all brown sugar. Brown sugar contains molasses, so molasses adds a little bit more moisture to the mix. It also gives it a little bit more flavor, I think. A little bit more of a brown color and a little bit more butterscotch taste. It also makes the cookies a little bit more chewy. I like chewier chocolate chip cookies, so they're my cookies. I'm going to make them the way I want. So this is the biggest change we have, is our brown sugar instead of all white sugar and brown sugar. So that's the biggest change to the recipe we have, along with one other change which we'll talk about in a little bit. We have 2 eggs, again standard to the recipe, and we have a teaspoon of vanilla. This is vanilla paste that I have in this nice little syringe. It just makes it really easier to put into the recipe. You do not need to have a syringe to put your vanilla in. I just happen to have it, and it makes it cleaner to put in and easier for vanilla paste. Vanilla paste can be hard to get on a measure of, and I happen to have this syringe from one of our pets. We used it for cleaning something out on the pet, and you can recycle those, and they're nice to cook with once in a while. We also have the measure of chocolate chip cookies. It calls for 2 cups. I just use this container which is a 2-cup container. Just put some in there, a little bit more, a little bit less. No one's going to care. Okay, we are ready to begin. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my mixer, and we'll go ahead and start. Okay, we have our paddle attachment in, and we're going to start by creaming the butter and the sugar. Now, this butter is room temperature butter. Why is it important to put room temperature butter in? Room temperature butter allows for the brown sugar to punch through it a little easier. The sugar will punch through the butter easier. It again allows it to have more air in the butter, and allows for fluffier, more delicate cookies. than if you use cold butter. So at least for me, I always want to use room temperature butter. I'm just going to go ahead and just give it one whirl around, just to kind of, let's put her basket up, just kind of spread it around. That's about all it needs. Now we can go ahead and add our brown sugar. Again, this is 300 grams. I also measure the brown sugar. 300 grams of brown sugar is a cup and a half in my kitchen. A cup of brown sugar is about 200 grams. So 300 grams is a cup and a half. And we can just go ahead and throw that all in there at once. And we'll go ahead and start incorporating. This will take a couple minutes to do. You're going to want to see a change in color to this. It'll start to turn lighter as you go. I'm just going to let that go, and we'll start to get our next addition ready. That's going to be our eggs. Our eggs are also room temperature. I'm going to just break one of the eggs and put it in my nice little container here. I'm putting it in the container in case I break a shell in here. It gives me an opportunity to remove the shell before I make an addition. It's just one step that's easier than me trying to fish it out of the dough. I'm going to go ahead and turn up the speed a little bit. Take your time on this. There's no real reason to hurry through this. Definitely seeing a change in color. It's lighter. Alright, I'm going to turn this down. We're going to go ahead and add our egg. First egg. You want to have that really low. You don't want to splash the egg and get it all over yourself. That's no good. Egg in. Now you want to make sure this egg is fully incorporated before you add the next one. So go ahead and turn that up. Let that go for at least a minute. It may seem like it's a long time, but you want to have the egg really in there before you add the next one. I'll get the next one ready to go. Each addition of the egg, it'll turn lighter and lighter every time you do this. While this is going, I'm going to go ahead and grab a spatula, so we're going to want to scrape this down. Okay, I'm going to turn this down, make our second egg addition. Get all that in there. Go ahead and turn this up. And place that vanilla in there that way. Do you need to use this? No. Is it cool? Yes. So there you go. Alright, so everything's been incorporated. We have our eggs, we have our vanilla, we have our butter and sugar mixture. So now we're ready to go ahead and introduce our dry ingredients. So I'm going to turn this way down. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start to introduce our dry ingredients at very slow. We don't want to have any, I don't want my nice red shirt to be white. I don't want to make a mess here. So slowly introduce our dry ingredients. Now this dry ingredients has our leavening agent and our salt and our flour. So slowly in. Okay, let's speed this up. We have no risk of spitting flour anywhere. Now the recipe also called to preheat the oven. You'll notice I didn't do that. There's a reason. It's not that we're gonna put the cookies into a cold oven or anything like that. The reason I didn't preheat the oven is because we need this dough to chill. And I found that the amount of time it takes to chill the dough is about the amount of time it takes the oven to preheat. So it's just kind of a way I can time that process. So once I go ahead and get this to be mixed up, and I go ahead and get the last ingredient in there, we'll go ahead and put our dough in the refrigerator and turn our oven on. Give it about a minute to really incorporate in there. Again, there's no reason to be speedy about this. It needs to take its time to get really good results. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off, and I'm gonna knock down the sides. So I'm gonna get a spatula here and just knock down the sides of the bowl here. This will help any flour that happens to have stuck to the sides get incorporated in there. Give it one last spin here. And we'll turn that on slowly, and we'll go ahead and mix in our chocolate chips. So the recipe calls for 2 cups. This is about 2 cups. This is a 2-cup container. I just filled it up. I'm not going to measure too closely. It's chocolate chips. One more or less chocolate chip is not going to kill anybody. So in they go, slowly. You don't want to cause the mixer to start bouncing around too much. Don't turn this on high. You'll break up the chocolate chips. You don't want to do that too much. Here's a neat little trick to try to get the dough off the thing. If you have this type of mixer, you can lower the bowl and then speed it up a little bit. And gently get the dough off the blade. And then you can go ahead and use your spatula to knock any extra goodness off of the blade, the dough hook. Not a dough hook, the mixing blade, and get it back in your bowl. Okay, I'm gonna call that done. If you're of a sort, you could lick this. I am not going to do that in front of the camera. And we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave that in there and take this off. Put this in the refrigerator. Okay, we are back. Our oven is at temperature. I've got our number 10 scoop. This is a very handy kitchen tool to have. It's about 4 or 5 ounces a scoop. It's good for ice cream. It's good for lots of things. I have a half sheet pan with a silpat on it with nice little round circles on there. I'm gonna put some parchment paper on top of this. Let me grab it here. It will be the exact length because I've done this a bunch of times. So that's gonna be the exact length of the silpat. Almost. Good enough. All right, so let's go ahead and get our scoops of cookie. Oh, before you do that, we're gonna use our little spray we have that everyone should have, our non-stick spray, and I'm gonna spray our scooper. That'll be very helpful. You do this without that and you'll realize that that would have been a mistake. And we're just gonna go ahead and drop our cookies. I'm gonna fit 12 on here. I'm going to use our Silpat's guide to space them, and if everything works out right, they should all kind of size themselves about right when they cook. Now we're going to cook them. Our bag instructions calls for 9 to 11 minutes. Because we've lowered the temperature, of this. We're gonna cook them a little bit longer. Again, we've changed some ingredients. We've used cold butter, so we have to have a little bit more time for the cookies to set. So we're gonna cook them for 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Strangely precise. Well, I've used this oven a bunch of times, and I've made these cookies a bunch of times, and I kind of got it down to a science. And 12 minutes and 30 seconds is exactly the right amount of time to get them to be just about perfect. I'm going to turn the cookies at about 6 minutes because this oven has a hot spot, so turning them will benefit them. So we don't have overdone on one side and not on the other. So we're going to go ahead and put these in the middle of the oven. And it's at 365. And I'm going to set the oven for 12.5 minutes. We'll be back. Alright, so we're nearly done with our timer here. That's it. Let's see how we're doing. Okay. We're going to go ahead and pull our cookies. Now, these are going to look perfectly done to me. They might look like they're a little blonde, but no, those are perfect. They're you can see there's spaced. A couple of them have bumped into each other, but that's perfect. Now, you can't touch these. No, don't do it. They have to sit for 5 minutes. Is it a really hard 5 minutes to not touch these? Yeah. Timer, 5 minutes. Oops. Walk away. Just walk away. Don't touch them. Don't. Stop it. Don't. Okay, our 5 minutes are up. Oop. Our 5 minutes are up. So our cookies have set enough that we can move them to the cooling rack. So they still should cool a little bit, but they'll remain solid. They won't break apart. If you do move them earlier, they will just kind of crumble when you try to move them. So you do want to wait for 5 minutes for them to set, take their shape. As you can see, they all kind of are doing what they're supposed to. They're going to have nice, firm, kind of crunchy edges and a chewy center. We're ready for our next load, which I won't bother doing for you. The cookies are ready to go. They should sit for a little bit, but I think someone is really wanting to have a cookie because I think Kathy's favorite cookies are chocolate chip cookies.
I love cookies.
Okay, go ahead. All right.
Delicious.
So that's our chocolate chip cookie recipe that we've kind of augmented off the old traditional Toll House cookie recipe. You should try it if you like the chewy cookies as opposed to the more crispy cookies that come from the recipe. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day. If you do like this kind of video, please let us know in the comments and go ahead and subscribe and push the notification bell and hit that thumbs up for us. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye everyone.